Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. It's Tuesday, January 28th. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. A shelter run by the City of Fresno is experiencing an influx of animals.
Currently, due to the amount of animals that are coming in, we are on a triaged intake policy, meaning that we're currently only accepting sick, injured, aggressive animals that pose a threat to the community.
Coming up, we'll learn what's being done to control it and how you can help. But first, today's headlines. A new strain of bird flu has been detected for the first time in the United States. As KVPR's Carrie Klein reports, it was found in Merced County.
Most of the avian influenza cases detected so far in the U.S. have belonged to a flu subtype known as H5N1. This new subtype is H5N9. According to the World Organization for Animal Health, both strains were detected in a commercial flock of ducks in Merced County. 119,000 ducks were euthanized as a result. A previously published scientific study describes H5N9 as a virus that formed from 3 other flu strains. That's through a process called reassortment, when multiple viruses infect the same host and exchange genetic material. The study's authors say it's not yet clear if and how this strain can infect humans. For KVPR News, I'm Carrie Klein.
Democratic Congressman Adam Gray will hold a swearing-in ceremony in Merced this Thursday. Gray was officially sworn into Congress in Washington, D.C. as a freshman earlier this month. He beat incumbent Republican John Duarte for the 13th District in November. It was one of the country's tightest races for the House of Representatives. A ceremonial event will be held at the Merced County Courthouse Museum at 5 p.m. on Thursday. Gray plans to also share his legislative priorities. The city of Hanford has officially expanded by 200 acres. The city council last week voted to annex 4 neighborhoods within the city that were considered county islands. According to the Hanford Sentinel newspaper, some residents of the formerly unincorporated areas opposed the annexation. A handful of them told the city council that living under city ordinances would change their way of life. Stanislaus County officials say they will offer help to workers who will soon be laid off from Foster Farms. Officials from the county's Workforce Development Office told the Modesto Bee that they'll be offering job fairs and other resources to the workers. More than 500 people will be without jobs when the company closes a Turlock turkey processing plant in May. The company has said the laid-off workers could fill openings at its other Central Valley locations.
Support for Central Valley Daily comes from the members of KVPR. Join at $8 or more per month and access ad-free NPR podcasts through NPR Plus. Give now at kvpr.org/donate.
And now to our main story. Animals in need of a home are nothing new to Fresno, but leaders of a shelter run by the state's 5th largest city say they've been inundated with hundreds of dogs and are well over capacity. To fix this, the shelter is offering to waive adoption and reclaiming fees, and it's making it easier to adopt a pet. As of Monday afternoon, shelter officials say they have over 230 dogs and over 40 cats in their care. Alma Torres is the Interim Director of the Fresno Animal Center. She recently spoke with KVPR's Carrie Klein about how the shelter is responding to this. Carrie starts the conversation.
The City of Fresno recently put out an urgent call on your behalf. The city said you're dealing with an influx of animals. Can you explain what the shelter is going through right now?
Absolutely. So it appears that, the amount of animals that are coming in is about the same. What's happening is the amount of animals that typically go out is a little bit less than normal. So we're needing our community's help to free up space in kennels. And that is done several ways, including adopting, reclaiming animals, fostering, and even things that can be done at home, which is making sure that your animals are spayed or neutered so that we don't end up with accidental litters, and also making sure that, fences are fixed and animals are not coming out, we want to also focus on spay and neuter services that we're providing, and that is low-cost spay neuter for our community.
Right. And you provide those actually for free, right? Those services?
No, we provide them for low cost, $25 for spay neuter surgery. That includes a microchip, that includes vaccines, that includes for dogs, they are able to take a cone home. So for $25, we do that. If somebody in our community is unable to afford $25, just reach out to us and we can work something out.
So talk about why. What's happening right now that's different from usual?
One of the things that we're seeing is that, typically we have many animals that go out to rescue, meaning partner organizations in different parts of the state and in different areas and in other states as well. But given that the fires are taking place in the Los Angeles area, many of those partners are dedicating their resources to get animals out of these fire zones. I believe that LA had over 1,000 dogs that they needed to find homes for. So some of our, options for transfer have been reduced.
Which breeds are you seeing most right now?
Breeds that we consistently see most of is German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, Huskies.
And why are those consistently some of the breeds that you see the most?
I think that there's various reasons. One of them is that these are working breeds and they require a lot of energy, a lot of exercise. Many a times they're escape artists. Huskies are amazing escape artists, and we don't always connect them back to their home. So it's so important that we have our community know about spaying and neutering, which a lot of the times will reduce some of those behaviors. Dogs can smell a female in heat when they're unaltered from very far away. So for them, they want to escape to go find a female. And a lot of the times we just are not able to connect them back to their owner's home.
And so how does your shelter typically receive animals? Do people drop them off or give you calls? Do you find them yourself?
All of the above. Currently, due to the amount of animals that are coming in, we are on a triaged intake policy, meaning that we're currently only accepting sick, injured, aggressive animals that pose a threat to the community and puppies. So when an animal is sick, we take it in. We're trying to really dedicate the resources that we currently have available to those animals that are in need. We are asking the community that if they find a healthy animal to help us house it. We do provide vaccines, we provide food, we provide spay neuter if necessary. We are able to, help with the transition once a new home is found for the animals. So we are, asking the help of our community so that these animals do not come in here. And, a lot of the times coming into a shelter for an animal creates stress, and stress creates sickness, and then, a whole host of other issues. So we are really triaging our resources to ensure that we're helping the neediest animals.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think what our community really needs to know is that we exist. We are just north of the airport at 5277 East Airways Boulevard, and we are here to help people keep their pets. I know that, there are a lot of concerns with, not being able to afford, dog food. Let us know. There are organizations within town that are able to provide that. We ourselves will be able to help. So we are here to provide resources that allows you to keep your pets with you. We want you to reach out for help and not just, let the animal go or, dump the animal. Please reach out to us to see if we can provide the help that's necessary that keeps the pets in their home.
That was KVPR's Carrie Klein speaking with Alma Torres. She's the Interim Director of the Fresno Animal Center. If you are not in the Fresno area but want to find a dog or cat in need of a loving home, you can visit petfinder.com. There you'll find dozens of dogs or cats in your area that are up for adoption. And that's today's show. Have a story idea or feedback for Central Valley Daily? We would love to hear from you. Just send us a message at podcast@kvpr.org. Today's episode was produced by Jonathan Linden and KVPR with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.